Have you been left with no answers, wondering what they would say if they had the chance? Today we're diving into their thoughts, feelings, and whether they'll break their silence. Hey, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer and I create in-depth pick a card readings to bring you clarity and guidance in love and life. And if you've been left without closure, wondering what your person is thinking and feeling, then this reading is for you. Today we'll uncover what's truly on their mind, what they wish they could say, and whether they will break the silence. As usual, I have 3 decks for you to choose from, and from each deck I've selected the High Priestess as the decider card. So she represents mystery, the hidden truth, and the answers that lie behind the curtain. So if your person has been silent, this card reminds us that there's more beneath the surface than what meets the eye. Group number 1, we have the High Priestess from the deck, Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic. Group number 2, we have the High Priestess from the Muse tarot deck. And group number 3, we have the High Priestess, or titled the Seeker, in this deck, which is the Medicine Woman tarot deck. So take a deep breath, trust your intuition to whichever card and pile that you were drawn to, and when you're ready you can find the link to your reading in the description box below. Love and light. Hey group of 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose the beautiful card, or the beautiful deck even, Every Little Thing That You Do Is Magic, and the High Priestess from that card, which is at the very center of this card. We have a beautiful striking owl. The owl talks about wisdom. And then we have the moon, which is about our intuition, what is hidden, which we touched on in the intro. And it's also, I'm drawn to how there's so much amethyst crystal in this deck. Now we know that amethyst is connected to the crown chakra, which is about higher consciousness and enlightenment. It's also about emotional balance. And what I first came through, the message that I channeled when I saw this card, was that there's a lot that your intuition is trying to tell you already. Some truths that are inside of you. It's almost like that you already know many of the answers to the questions that you are asking are inside of you. And hopefully this tarot reading will clarify that for you and bring that to the surface, maybe confirm some of your nagging sensations and intuition, that inner voice is trying to speak to you. The wisdom of the owl. You are the owl to me. But let's shuffle the cards and see what comes through. This is another rapid 3-card spread, which I like to do, which is just very direct. It gets straight to the point for your answers, the answers to your questions, okay? Oh, jumping out. Okay, so let's go to placement number 1, which is your person's current thoughts and feelings. So what's on their mind regarding you and this connection? How are they feeling deep down? Okay, so you're in this no contact situation, but what's going on with them behind the scenes? We have the Champion of Swords. So Swords is all around communication and kind of tough decisions and tough choices. And I feel like that they're taking a like a hard line with this. For some reason, they have chosen to go into this no contact, or even if it wasn't their choice, if they're not reaching out to you for some reason, there is a kind of a stubbornness, and for some of you even maybe a kind of coldness here, or a meanness in a way to it, that there's some kind of strategy as well at play when I see the swords, because the swords is all connected to the mind and coming from a head place rather than a heart place. It's also it doesn't matter about gender, of course, whoever, you know, when you've come to this reading, whoever this person is, but like it is like a male peacock here with all the colours, and that sense of kind of fanfare and showing off, in the sense that there is something ego based going on here. The expression cutting off their nose to spite their face comes to mind. So maybe trying to save face, trying to prove some kind of point, not giving in to their feelings, but instead holding this kind of hard line of strategy. The Champion of Swords has as well a kind of ruthlessness, again, to connected to sort of proving a point or punishing you. For some of you, if this resonates, punishing you. Maybe you had a conversation that brought up some issues for them, challenged them in some ways. Maybe you spoke some truths, maybe you set a boundary, and that they are kind of reacting to this in a negative way, really, ultimately, with this Champion of Swords. But yeah, they're very much stuck in a head place. And the decision to stay in no contact, or to take this line, like I say, cutting off the nose despite their face, or kind of ego-based energy. Let's continue. Placement number 2. What they wish they could say. So if they had the courage or the opportunity, what would they say to you right now? So maybe if they could drop this ego, this kind of strategy, this head over heart kind of energy that they're coming with, what would they say to you right now? What would we reveal, if I can say that? 3 of Wands. Different kind of energy, different kind of vibe. The 3 of Wands is about actually looking, there is a sense of waiting that they, can we see here, this is much like in the Rider-Waite deck, the scene for this card is someone waiting on the shoreline for their ships to come in. So they are waiting for you to make contact. For some of you out there, they're waiting for you to make a move. For others, they are waiting for some kind of change in their situation before reaching out to you. Maybe their head is also, you know, we've seen this cold place, but on a softer level, in a more heart-centered place, they are looking to the future, concerned maybe about the future as well, about what that will bring. And I get this sense of like trying to figure out their future, actually, and what that will look like. Will you be in that future, and how could we get there? Or is this the end? So this kind of concerned energy about looking out to the future. We have here, interestingly, like the wands are represented by tools, and this makes me think of they are looking and thinking of ways to fix this, tools to fix the problem, waiting for the right time, wanting to fix this, maybe not understanding or knowing how to fix this as yet. So we're kind of staring into the abyss of the future and wondering how we're going to get from A to B. Yeah, they don't know the steps yet. Some of them are waiting, take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. This is a general reading. For some of you, they are actually waiting for you to reach out. it's almost like their ego is blocking them from reaching out, and they want you to do it and break that silence. For others who aren't in that position, that doesn't resonate, then it's more that they are waiting for a solution to come to them or to appear. But the whole drive of this is this desire to fix it, and the Three of Wands is about the future as well. So they are thinking about you and this connection and their future, and you being in it, and if that's possible, how we make that happen, or yeah, how do we fix the situation? And let's move on to the final position, which is, will they reach out? So look into their possible actions in the near future. Are they thinking about reconnecting, or will they stay silent? This brings us some clarity on that justice. So you will get justice, which feels like a confirmation, that they will reach out. Justice is like wrongs being righted. It's a major arcana as well. So there will be some communication that comes back in. Can you see? I almost feel like two parts here that were separate coming back together. You see how these two halves make a whole? It has very similar colours and energy, interestingly, as the High Priestess, which I see just with the moon. The moon comes into focus. We have the sword even here of communication, and interestingly the sword looks like jelly here, so it's almost like the sword has softened. The harshness of this egoic energy that I'm seeing here has softened, so they have softened in that way. And this leaves a space for you to be able to come back together in communication, to have more of an honest conversation with justice. It's being able to speak more openly again. Maybe some of the sharpness of whatever has brought you into no communication, the no contact situation, that whole energy has softened somehow and seems less potent than what it did. It felt like the sharp edge of a sword, yeah, but that has softened now, and it's allowed you to come back into some union. Justice being the scales as well, so scales coming back into alignment, balance being restored in this connection. And whoever kind of, maybe you've both caused each of us pain, but maybe one of you more than the other, there being some kind of justice in that, like an opportunity to discuss that and get some closure on that pain and what initially brought you into this length of no contact, kind of understanding how it got to that, how did it come to this, you know, how do we prevent it from that happening again, that kind of conversation, yeah. So I'll end it there, group number 1. I hope this resonated for you. If it did, please do give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below. It would be great to hear from you how this reading resonated. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do consider, so you'll be notified for all future uploads. But wishing you all the best with you and your person. Love and light. Hey, group number 2. So you chose the deck, the Muse Tarot, and the High Priestess from that particular deck, which is such a beautiful, strong image to me. This epitomizes the High Priestess, just this mysterious character who is so tapped into the subconscious, to her intuition. She has the light of the moon to guide her. These kind of hieroglyphics is like, talks about hidden meaning and mystery as well, that kind of only she can understand. And in this reading, that's really the energy of what we're tapping into your no contact situation, to get the answers of what's really going on a deeper level. So let's shuffle your cards. shuffle the deck even and pull your cards. This is going to be another rapid 3-card reading, which I like to do, which I find is very direct and gets straight to the point, gets you your answers clearly and quickly to you. So placement number 1, this is your person's current thoughts and feelings. So whilst you're in this no contact, what's on their mind regarding you and this connection? How are they feeling deep down? Like say we're going to a deeper level. Page of Materials, still feeling very connected to you. Whenever I see this card, I always see this and another person's energy represented here. Doesn't matter about gender with this being female, but I feel like that this is you and this is them. Flowers as well being, sorry, roses, pink roses in particular, but the flowers here being connected to romantic feelings still being present. Now the Page of Materials is also, whenever we see a page, it's about a sort of period of assessment. So trying to still processing this connection and this no contact situation, okay? On their mind, literally we've got this rose head, which represents kind of the mind. You energetically are still connected, but also that you literally are on their mind and that they will think about you, maybe have that it going round in their head. Yeah, you may have that going on as well. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't with this. There's still movement and growth though, can you see here? Because there's so much, you know, this rose is growing, is blossoming, this dress is covered in blossoming and growth. There still feels like there's a lot of room for this connection to grow, which is what I think that they still is what they feel essentially. But something worth noting is that the Materials energy in the traditional deck, this is Pentacles, it is quite slow moving, so there is going to be some patience here needed. But in that patience, what the good that can be taken from that in this waiting is that there is some kind of progress being made behind the scenes. So if there was whatever kind of brought you to this no contact, I see almost that the connection has continued to grow and change behind the scenes. So maybe you've had some internal changes and shifts of perspective, and that's what I see happening in them as well. It has continued to change and grow within them, so maybe they are having some revelations about what brought you into no contact, about their depth of feeling for you, about the potential of this connection. Those are all things that are coming through that I see and that I feel. That's what they're grappling with behind the scenes. They still see that this connection has the potential to grow and develop into something else, but they're also in a state of kind of contemplation, and there is a kind of slow moving energy here, which tells me that you may need to have some patience when waiting for communication to come back in, okay? But kind of understand or take solace in the fact that good stuff is happening in this space. So continue to work on yourself and your own insights, because that's what's happening on the other side for them as well, that they are understanding something on a deeper level, maybe something needed to change, and this no contact is bringing that change about. Deep in thought is what I feel, you know, behind the scenes they are deep in thought about this connection. Second placement, what they wish they could say. So if they had the courage or the opportunity, what would they say to you right now? Three of Emotions. Emotions being in the traditional deck about cups, so this is about our feelings, this is heartfelt emotions. Okay, so this is a softer energy that comes through. This is like a pragmatic energy. They may be like this as a person as well, who's quite cautious, quite conscientious, kind of thinks before they speak, or that's the energy that comes through. But what they wish they could say is that the Three of Emotions is like that. I always say when I see this card, it's like they really enjoy your company. They love spending time with you. This is not only romantic and love by nature, but there's also a friendship element which adds to it a deeper level. Not that they see you as a friend. This is very much romantic, but it's that, you know, when someone describes their person as their best friend, as well as their lover, as well as their person, it's that kind of vibe, that kind of energy. For some of you as well, this is not, if it is it's already established, this isn't like new information, but if it's a third party situation, then there's something about what they wish they could say is that there's some kind of emotional pull from this other person happening for them as well. But this is not new information, so for those, don't think I'm revealing some kind of third party situation, new information. It's just for those that are already in it, just with there being a 3 here. Yeah, but if they wish they could say something to you, it's how much that they enjoy your company, probably miss your company, miss that connection. You're not only their person or those emotional feelings, but you're also that friend who they would go to and share, you know, if they've got something that they want to share that's happening in their life, they have that feeling that they'd like to reach out and contact you, but they can't, or because of the no contact, there's that block. Because they, for some reason, whatever reason, that it's not the right time yet. Yeah, because it's slow moving, so they want to reach out, they want to say, oh, this thing happened to me today, you know. It's all those kind of little things, isn't it, that build up to a big connection. Let's look to the future though, the final card. When we look at if they will reach out, a look into their possible actions in the near future. Are they thinking about reconnecting, or will they stay silent? Let's see. I mean, I do see progress happening, but let's get clarity. Okay, 8 of Emotions. They will at the moment, this card is about walking away from something emotionally unfulfilling. This is them walking away from, at the minute, the situation is emotionally unfulfilling for them, okay, because they're missing you, which they've seen. So I think this is what this tells me, is that will intensify, that longing and the missing and the kind of desire and need for that. It may take a bit of time when we see that slow moving page of materials, but ultimately that will be the catalyst, that will be the shift with the 8 of Emotions, because we see them walking away from discontent, from emotional dissatisfaction, which is the 8 of Emotions. So it will be ultimately their kind of emotions will win out over their pragmatic kind of practical side. Be interested to know about, actually, for you, group number 2, what did bring, if for some of you, if it's clear, what did bring you into no contact, because there doesn't seem to be many negative emotions here, like there's no kind of grudge holding or resentment, but it just feels like as if it, for some weird reason, it was like as if it was a practical choice to slow things down, to stop the contact. I don't know if it was moving too fast for them, something like that. For some of you, obviously, there's a third party engaged. But ultimately, the missing and the longing of you, that connection, that contact that they have, that they enjoy so much, will intensify. And then this will push them away from that towards you. into reaching out, into making contact. So have patience, hold steady, allow that to unfold, group number 2. If you enjoyed this reading and it resonated, please do give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments in the section down below. It's always great to hear from you, and please subscribe if you haven't already so you'll be notified for all future uploads. But wishing you all the best within you and your person, group number 2. Love and light. Hey group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose the beautiful High Priestess or the Seeker card from the deck Medicine Woman tarot deck. Gorgeous image of this woman here. Doesn't matter about gender, whoever is watching this, I feel like this is your energy. Seeking the right path, what comes next, being able to see as well what is hidden and tapping into that, which is what this reading aims to do. So let's shuffle and pull your cards. This is going to be another quick rapid fire 3-card reading, as I find it's useful to bring answers through clearly, quickly, straight to the point. So let's shuffle and pull your cards. Placement number 1, group number 3, is your person's current thoughts and feelings. So if you're in this no contact situation, what's going on in their mind regarding you and the connection? How are they feeling deep down, so on a deeper level? Exemplar of arrows, interesting. Parent, child, teacher kind of energy, looking at a map of what comes next. There could be children involved for some of you, or this could be about assessing to me about where to go next and next steps. Arrows are about action, and this is an exemplar of the arrows, so that's kind of to me about wanting to make the right choice and level up in some way. So maybe one of you, both of you, has made some mistakes that have brought you to this no contact, okay? And they're now left in a place where they are really thinking and feeling about what comes next in the greater, like, bigger plan, bringing a kind of more mature energy than maybe what they have in the past. Maybe you were just living day to day, we're just living in the moment in some ways, and then that led to this no contact, maybe not being on the same page. Literally here, the page here, having different ideas, some kind of confusion that I'm picking up on there for some of you about maybe this connection and where it was going. Doesn't matter about, you know, obviously it's genderless, but this is just their energy that we're looking at, we're zooming in on. We have a buffalo here, which represents being in an abundant state of mind. I feel like that they have shifted into more of an abundant state of mind now. So there have been some changes going on behind the scenes in this no contact energy. So whilst you have been holding space in this no contact, both of you, there has been some changes. And I mean, ultimately, it actually feels quite positive and encouraging for this connection, because all the energies are so bright and enthusiastic, and it's almost like I feel like that they're getting their head straight with it and imagining that future for you both together, and putting some kind of plan together and a way to get over any obstacles, if there are obstacles, be that internal, be that sort of energetically between you, or actually circumstantial. You know, there's a real nurturing quality that comes through just with this parent-child dynamic as well. It's like wanting to do the right thing is what I hear as well. If maybe you, for some of you, may feel let down that they didn't nurture this connection in the way that they should have, and they were kind of coming to a more understanding of that. But yeah, really, example of arrows is look into the future. Arrows are about action. Arrows are a dynamic energy, you know, moving forward, in not be moving out of an impasse. If that's where you'd found yourself at some kind of an impasse, there is change. Arrows, it's all about change, kicking up the dust. Let's move on to the next placement. Second placement is what they wish they could say. So if they had the courage or the opportunity, you know, they may still be in a period of piecing together this plan, you know, working towards actually verbalizing this. But let's see what, you know, if right now, if they wish, if they could speak to you, what would they say? A Three of Bowls. They would offer you something of themselves here. Okay, it's represented here by, you know, this is like very traditional sort of images here of an offering, and this is what feels like your energy. Okay, so they hold, this tells me that number one, that they hold you in a good light, even for some of you on a kind of pedestal, because this looks like you know, a kind of a light being, someone who is full of light. So they see that in you, that you maybe have a very strong connection to spirit, or that you live your life in that way. And also that you're a very intuitive person. Bowls is about, it's in the traditional deck, this would be cups, so it's about emotions. And you can see how this person here is like part of the ocean. So it's like this, maybe you're an empath, maybe you have very strong intuition. Listen to that, you know, have a good relationship with your intuition, spirit, higher self, whatever you want to call it. You are in tune with that energy. They recognize that in you, that you live your life like that. If they could speak to you now, I feel like if they were just purely acting on emotions, then they would reach out and offer this kind of information to you about what they've been thinking about, the plans of the future. For some of you as well, they have people around them who support this as well, which is interesting. They may have friends, family who would support them sorting this out with you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't with this. And it's a very sincere energy that comes from this Three of Bowls for sure. Can you see how genuine and sincere this kind of, just the whole body language, you know, reaching out to you. If they were purely acting on their emotions, I feel like that they would have reached out already and kind of offered you, if it's an apology that's needed, or just some kind of serious offer of a high level of commitment, relationship, let's say apology for what mistakes that have been made in the past. I am going to ask for one more card because I'm nosy and just out of interest about, for those of you that maybe have been waiting some time or something, this may have all been a process, but can we tell us anything more about what's blocking? Because these are two both very positive cards, which is great. Maybe they're just working out this map, this roadmap. For some of them, there's been a process. When I see this Seven of Pipes, there is something about, to me, what this card says about them getting honest with themselves. Can we see how these people are masked? So there has been what has slowed this down, or is still currently blocking them reaching out I do see change coming and them reconnecting, but what's blocked that is they've struggled to be honest with themselves about something in this connection. This is you and them. Again, doesn't matter about gender. And there's something about the masks here that says to me that the mask needs to fall away. You are both mirroring each other's energy and feelings, so there's some deep feelings here. You have maybe struggled with being honest with the depth of feeling that you felt for each other, so it could go both ways. But there's this strong pull that I feel between these two people. It's on a kind of primal level. It's on a deep level, and it's a pull. Maybe one or both of you have tried to deny this, have tried to hide from it, have tried to mask from it, tried to pretend. Also maybe pretend, even just hide those feelings from each other, one or both of you. Some kind of masking and some lying to themselves, not being honest with themselves. That is beginning to fall away. But that was the block. That's maybe what's brought you into no contact, is them not being able to be honest with themselves, and that this is what they want. Let's look to the future. Will they reach out? This placement is a look into their possible actions in the near future. Two of Stones. Stones is earth energy, so this is all kind of emotional, fire, and air energy, really, kind of all thoughts and feelings. Two of Stones brings us to a good place where it comes into the 3D, so the ideas manifest into the now. So Two of Stones is similar to Two of Pentacles. It's very different with this deck though, in the sense of, well, it still has that earth energy, but this, to me, always when I see this card, I think of it's like someone sifting for gold in the river. They're actually holding a kind of diamond in their hands. But it's actually, it feels more like protecting a kind of precious energy. And we move this connection, or this plan, these emotions, into the here and now. And we get to hold it in our hands. That's for both of you. It still has a kind of new beginning energy to it. Like there's still more work to be done after this, but this is a great start. This is what needed to happen. Okay, we needed to ground the feelings, we needed to ground the energy, we needed to turn all those feelings and emotions into something realistic and something grounded, and to be able to hold it in our hands. So this could be consistent communication coming through. The first steps about talking about the future, about plans, about how it's actually really going to work between you both. In this, again, in this river of emotions, all these strong feelings between you on both sides, which I've seen throughout this reading. Big feelings, big emotions, which has maybe kind of took you off path. Out of that kind of flood of emotion comes this precious stone, which we hold on to, which is the beginnings of being able to turn all that emotion into something, like I say, grounded, and something consistent, and something to begin to actually build on, okay? To begin to build a life together, to begin to build commitment. So don't rush it when this happens as well. So when the communication comes through, sort of handle with care, bring in some patience at this point. We're building a strong foundation now, okay? it's less about, you know, feel the feelings, but it's less about all the emotions, and it's more about also building a future together, or building a strong foundation, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's where we end. I hope that reading resonated for you. Group number 3, if it did, please do give me a thumbs up. Leave any comments down below. It's always great to hear from you. And please do consider subscribing if you haven't already, so you'll be notified for all future uploads. But wishing you all the best with you and your person, group number 3. Love and light.